In less than 24 hours, I will be singing at a corporate gig where I am required to wear a ball gown. And at this current moment in time, that ball gown does not exist. So today, I will be endeavoring to create a ball gown in less than 24 hours. And by endeavoring, I mean I literally have to succeed because I have nothing else to wear. So these are the stakes. Grab your tea, clutch your pearls, because this is going to be stressful. It's mainly fun. Mainly it'll be fun, but it'll also be just a tiny little bit stressful because we are on a deadline. Let's get into it. So, when I knew I had to make a ball gown, I immediately started collecting my inspiration points and brainstorming and thinking of all sorts of ideas and designing and immediately getting overwhelmed. Because if you know me, I just get overwhelmed when I have a lot of ideas swirling around in my brain. So of course, I turned to my all-time favorite organizing tool, Milanote, to help me out. So let me show you my ideas for the ball gown whilst also showing you the gem that is Milanote. I'm a big fan, and sincerely a big fan. Sincerely. I literally use Milanote to organize my whole life. Okay, take it away, Carly. Take it away.
Thanks for the intro, Carly. Now let me show you my project inspiration. Whenever I have a lot of ideas or inspiration points, I love using Milanote to organize all of my thoughts. Now Milanote is a tool for organizing your creative projects. It's an online canvas designed to help you plan, brainstorm, and collaborate on ideas. Think about working on a wall in a creative studio rather than using a traditional software. Now personally, I've been using Milanote for over a year now, and I keep coming back to it because it is so intuitive to use and it genuinely makes brainstorming, planning, and executing my creative projects so much more approachable and enjoyable. I'm serious. It's literally everything that I need to brainstorm all in one place. Anyway, let me show you the brainstorming boards for my ball gown. So here is my main project board. I've got my to-do list, a clip from Funny Face, which showcases some of my favorite gowns from the film. There's a link to some polyester dupion fabric I think might work for the project. There's some pictures of vintage ball gowns that I love, and my subboards for patterns and construction techniques. And guys, an absolutely goated thing about Milanote is the Milanote Web Clipper. With the Milanote Web Clipper, it is super quick and easy to add photos from various places online. You can save the images and links directly to the boards, making the whole process efficient and delightful in my opinion. Moving right along, here is my pattern subboard with a few vintage ball gown patterns I'm considering purchasing and a pattern I think might work if I hack it a little bit from my own design. I'm not exactly sure yet. Anyway, it's easy to add links to websites on Milanote by going to the left bar, clicking link and pasting the link in there. My other subboard is all about construction. It has some pictures and videos showcasing some petticoat ideas and other creatives who have made ball gown videos on YouTube. Another exceptional feature in Milanote is the ability to share your work and collaborate in real time. I use it all the time if I want feedback on my ideas or if I want to brainstorm with Elijah. With Milanote, you can start your boards completely fresh, which I personally love doing because I like having full creative freedom to brainstorm as I please. But if you would like a place to start, Milanote totally have you covered. They have over 100 built-in templates available for every creative project. Just scroll through the templates, pick one that suits you, and it's the perfect jumping off place to get you started. There are so many to choose from, including templates for weekly planning, storyboards, renovation and DIY, content creation, and mood boarding. Whether you're a fashion designer or a sewist like me, Milanote makes starting a new project easy. Finally, Milanote is available for free with no time limit, so sign up now for a free Milanote account using the link in the description box of this video. Let me know if you guys enjoy using Milanote, and thank you so much to Milanote for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to the ball gown. All right, so this is the game plan for this whole project. Basically, we are going to try and achieve as much visual interest as possible using the most simplest of designs. Essentially, I'm thinking a circle skirt and a really simple fitted bodice. That's it. To help me with the visual impact, I have purchased 10 meters of this extremely sparkly sequin red material. Listen, this is not the most beautiful sequin I've ever seen in my life. It does not feel very beautiful, but it is cost effective and sparkly. I'm hoping it will look good on stage, and it did not cost me an arm and a leg, which is awesome. I did find some much more beautiful sequins at the fabric store, but they were $50 a meter. And I just couldn't quite justify spending $500 on the fabric for a ball gown at this current moment in my life.
Maybe one day. But for now, we're going for budget sparkles. To add more volume to the skirt, I've got a bunch of horsehair braid, which is going to act as a little bit of a stiffener and a bit of a buoyancy at the bottom of the skirt. I'm a huge horsehair braid fan now, if you didn't know. I've also got a bunch of tulle and tulle netting to help with the petticoat volume. I've got red lining materials, both for the skirt and the bodice. And this, I hope, is going to be a very, very helpful garment. I already have this corselet created. I made it for my wedding dress and I unpicked it out because I thought, I'll use that again for something else. And the time has arrived. So I am hoping to use this as the inner structure of my bodice. Hopefully that sort of helps bring this all together nice and quickly. We'll see. Listen, I'm not planning on making the most incredible gown of all time. I just want to achieve a great shape and something that works for the stage. So let's get started because I need to. I think we're gonna do the skirt first because I think I know what I'm doing. Tentatively, I'm feeling confident, so let's do this thing. Also, 2 side notes. I broke my microphone, which is really sad, so I just have this little cube left. I hope the audio works, and if it doesn't, I'm so sorry. I've got a new little mic on the way, so just wait for the next video, hopefully. Second thing, I always try and wear a cute outfit when I make a video, but sometimes I just want to sew in my active wear, you know? I don't know why I needed to say that to you, just sometimes I get insecure. So yeah, that's all. Okay, let's go. Okay, how do I do this? Yes, that's right. I need to measure out. Yeah, okay. I think this is a 51-inch length. And basically, I'm gonna cut around in a little quarter of a circle, hopefully evenly. This is the point where I will have sequins now in my house and in my life until the day I die. Once you snip into this sort of fabric, it just never ever leaves you. The sequins on the floor are already stressing me out so bad. It's also like on this weird mesh material that has a bunch of small little tinsel pieces, and those tinsel pieces are going everywhere too. So this is crazy. Luckily we have concrete floors. That's one panel. And I think that's great. It's a good length. Luckily, we have enough fabric to get it to the floor. So that should be awesome. I'm gonna try and get 3 more of these panels so that I have a circle skirt going on. Oh yeah. This is going to work. Like, is it my everyday dress? No. Is it gonna work on stage? Yes, I think it will. It's really giving the fairy godmother from Shrek. The fabric is literally exactly the same. It's literally exactly this fabric. Oh my gosh. I'm dying. I'm actually dying dead. I'm dead, dying, gone. Where have all the good men gone and where are all the lies? Oh my gosh, that's really sad. That always makes me feel sad when he jumps into the big gingerbread. Be good. Okay, I'm gonna watch Shrek 2 later. I actually can't I need to move on, but that actually just got me so good how similar that fabric is. Not the gumdrop button! I can't do it, I'm done. I can't do it.
I could do it if I was Shape of Collier. Not the gumdrop button! Not the gumdrop button! Not the gumdrop button!
Okay, this is stupid. I'm not sure if the point got across, but I'm gonna do 3 more of those panels right now. Gremlin mode activated. This is rough. Like, don't get me wrong, this is a very, very rough way of cutting out your pattern when you lay the fabric on top of the fabric, but sometimes a girl's gotta do what a girl's gotta do. Okay, if you're offended, I'm so sorry, but this is real. This is real, this is me. This project is probably gonna make my scissors blunt. I just remembered how sad that is when you work with sequins and you cut through them. But what am I meant to do? You cannot bash these sequins off. They're so small and they just, you know, you guys are seeing these sequins, right? These are the sequins you cut through. I could bash these sequins with a hammer. I don't think they would come off this fabric. Very hard to see when the skirt pattern ends and the fabric begins. That's fun. It's all right, it'll all come out in the wash. That's a bit wonky though. That there is a bit wonky. Yeah, oh, not the sequin fallout. Okay, that was fun. Guys, check this out. Check out this nonsense. Spotlight. What is this? They have used small plastic things to just piece their fabric together. This is not 8 continuous meters. This is crazy. You guys are seeing the holes, right? It's cool. At least I have bought like so much excess. But guys, if you needed 8 meters continuous, bad form, bad form. Wait, I got something. Me and my continuous 8 meters of sequins. Continuous? I barely know her. Oh, it's kind of giving drama though. Oh my gosh. Okay, it's time to get back to work. Oh, that is funny. That is drama. Are you guys catching this right now? Are you getting the drama? Me at the Met Gala. Thank you, Spotlight. Held together by nothing other than 3 plastic clips. 3 plastic clips. I already feel apologetic for my machine for having to deal with these sequins, but luckily my industrial is a very good sport. It's very possible I shouldn't do this, but I'm going to endeavour to gently press that seam open. I will not be overlocking or finishing my seams because it's not that deep, and also, I really feel as though I should have a pressing cloth on this. I'm going to be smart. Oh yeah, I'm not going to finish my seams because it doesn't matter that much, and also, who's washing their sequins? Not me. This shouldn't really fray too much. It really shouldn't. If I cared more, I would probably bias bind or figure out a way to do this nicer, but this whole project is sort of about just getting the job done and having a little play along the way. Okay. Well, I think that's roughly the skirt. 4 panels, each of them are a 1/4 circle skirt, and they're all sewn right sides together. It's a little wider than my waist because I did not measure anything, and that's fine. I'll do some pleats, I think, just to make it fit. And that's the vibe. Really simple, really classic, getting the job done skirt. With a petticoat underneath, should be cool. Speaking of petticoat, I think that is my next stop. The fabric is slightly sheer, so I am kind of curious about whether I should do a red lining closest to this fabric layer so that it keeps the red, because right now I feel like you can see just ever so slightly my bike pants showing through. So I'm worried that if I have black tulle up against this, it's gonna look a little different. I think it'll be fine. We'll see. This is the lining portion of my skirt, and it is going to be a half circle skirt. So much less voluminous than the top portion of the skirt, but still it should retain that nice circular shape. And when I put the tulle on top, it should give it volume, more so than a rectangular skirt, even a very gathered rectangular skirt. I think this is going to be the move. For some reason, I just really want to leave the petticoat and the skirt for a second and move on to the bodice while I still have brain space. I'm thinking of using the bodice pattern for this vintage Vogue pattern, the V1172. I'm not sure if it's going to be exactly what I want, but I'm hoping it's just going to get me started. If it doesn't work, I have other ideas, and it seems like I purchased a lot of excess sequin fabric, so the stakes are kind of low. I can play around a little bit, which is great. When you see this flimsy tissue paper pattern coming out, oh man, you know it's gonna be a rough ride. Do like ironing it though. Sue me. Now these are shapes I've never seen before. When you get those treasure map instructions, oh, send help. I'm really not convinced this is going to be the style for me. It looks a tad matronly, but sometimes vintage styles can feel that way. They really like sit on the fence, you know? For me, at least. Okay. I think I'm going to give it a little crack. Like, I'm happy to give an hour to this concept because if it works, great. Great. And if not, self-draft something. Bit of a spookier option in my opinion. But this is spooky, like my brain just shuts down reading these instructions, I have to say. Not gonna lie team, I got really scared and I tried to find patterns online because that's my coping mechanism, and then I decided enough is enough. We need to just self-draft this. It's not even a complicated design. I know I can do it. I'm just being a massive baby. So yeah, we're going for princess seams, fitted bodice. That's all this needs to be. I can't quite remember, but I'm pretty sure I ended up self-drafting, draping my own wedding dress bodice. And I think that I would actually like to start doing flat lay pattern stuff, like actually doing it, you know what I'm saying. I just need to get myself proper bodice blocks or learn to draft them myself. But I think it's just such a boring task that I just put it off and off and off and off, and then I just buy patterns and it's this cycle. I also just love trying other people's patterns because I'm like, wow, girl, you're so creative. Oh, it looks so spooky in here. Does anyone else who's like a hypervigilant, overly empathetic person, I just feel really, really bad when I have to put the pins in. I'm like, I'm so sorry, babe. It's gonna be over soon. I feel so bad. Something you can do when you make your pattern pieces is you label them front 1, and then I'll do center front for good measure. Because you think, oh, I'm not gonna get confused, but then you do. Let me not be so general. Then I think I won't be confused, but I always am. Okay, who knows if this is gonna work. If I get crazier throughout the evening, I'll show you the choreography for the gig tomorrow night. How about that, guys? Because I need to practice. That's the other unseen workload, is that I actually need to practice for my gig, but low-key, it'll be fine. I've been practicing every day. So in theory, those are my pattern pieces, and I think I want to try that out right now, in case I did a really, really bad job. And so I think I'm going to interline everything, because then if I have to make adjustments, I don't have to adjust the lining pieces because I'm not very good at that. So this is what I'm gonna do, and then I think I can use binding to finish the other edges of the bodice. I think. It's possible this is gonna be a bit itchy when it folds in on my skin, but whatever. That's the least of my problems, to be quite frank. I can deal with itchy for 20 minutes, which is how long I should be wearing this ball gown for. Okay, yes, I'm going to baste these 2 layers together by hand. When you baste stuff by hand, you can really ensure that everything's laying nice and flat. Sometimes by machine, it just, I don't know, it gets a bit wonky. And it's quite frustrating when you get to the end of your machine basting and then your garment is a bit wonky. Now, we'll see if this works. This is where you would have made a toile, but if you were me, you would just be using your real fabric and trying it right now. I don't love this fabric is like, it's a bit stretchy, doesn't really sit quite taut, but that's probably just on buying cheap sequins. Now, ideally, these pattern pieces fit together. That would be very ideal, and they do, marvelous. And that's a princess seam. That's a princess seam. Hello, princess. That's a princess seam, I think. Could be wrong, always could be wrong. My education it's self-guided, and there are gaps. This one fit less good, and that's all right. We'll make it work, designers, make it work. What's happening right now on the floor of the studio? Absolutely catastrophic sequin carnage. Look, it's all over my hands. It's not just the sequins though, it's all those little weird tinsel bits. I think they added the tinsel so that they could cheap out on how many sequins they needed for the fabric, because this tinsel kind of makes it look like very sparkly, but there's not that many sparkles. I don't know. I need to stop paying out on this fabric and start believing in what it can be. I'm sorry, fabric. You're doing your best, and I did purchase you, so got a little funny at the bottom there, but it's fine. That might just work. I think that may have worked. Tentatively, I'm really happy with this fit. I'm almost like, do we need structure under this? The sequins are sort of just making up for everything, I think. It's also not like strapless or anything, it's just sort of like a bodice and a skirt. I'm kind of extremely happy that this is not terrible. The only thing I'm thinking about next is whether I line this or whether I finish the neckline and the sleeves with bias tape. It might be just as easy to line it. It's so sparkly. I'll think on that. All right, I tried on the bodice with the corselet and it actually adds a lot. So we're gonna do that. I think I'm not gonna line it because I would like to have the option of adjusting the back of the neckline, if that's even what you would call it. I just think it could be nice if it sort of dips down a little bit, and if I leave it to the very end, I can just sort of snip it and finish with bias tape. I'm pretty bad at adjusting pattern pieces, so it would be complicated for me to adjust the lining, I think. So yeah, in my head, that's just a nice approachable way to do things because I know that world. So now I'm just gonna attach the skirt. Because the skirt is see-through, I think what needs to happen is this. Skirt, then the lining,
And then I need to do the petticoat out of another fabric because I don't know if it will be, because I think if I have this black tulle sitting against the outer fabric, you will see it a little. Yes, it will dull the red. I don't want that. What I want to do with the skirt is I have extra fabric. It doesn't fit the bodice perfectly, so I think I'm going to add some pleats at the back and have it fitted at the front and pleated at the back. I think it'll be really pretty. Unfortunately, the bodice is about one smidge too short from my actual waistline. I tried to make it shorter because I always make my waistline too long and it makes the bodice all bunchy, but this time I've done the opposite, so it is what it is. It is fine. I do need to just even this out a little bit. It got kind of wonky. Gee, really wonky. That's all right. If you're confused about the order of things that I'm making, don't worry, I am too. This is a random time. I've got 10 meters of tulle netting here. I think what I'm gonna do is just cut it straight down the middle and have 2 equal lengths, which will give me 20 meters to work with. Hopefully that gets me around my skirt, you know, once or twice and gives me some volume. There would definitely be a better way to do this, but tonight I'm interested in the fastest way to do this. And cutting it in a big pile like this seems awesome because trying to measure and cut 10 meters of tulle evenly doesn't really seem like it's for me today. I saw Fur Little Peach say that she could play this color matching game and basically nail it every single time. That's like her artist superpower. And I'm training to have my artist superpower be eyeballing skills. Even though I was just talking about eyeballing it, this is a step that I will not eyeball. It's marking where the petticoat has to go because I just know I cannot do this on a curve. There's no way in this wide, wide world. My length of tulle is 12 inches, so I think I'll get the marking just 12 inches above the hem. I guess my other thought is I'm not exactly sure where the next petticoat should be placed, as in the second level. And I do feel it would be easier for me to mark everything now, but I might need to have a little look. I just want to make sure I'm distributing the tulle that I have effectively to create the shape that I want for this ball gown type dress. Because, you know, 10 meters of tulle is not that much in the grand scheme of things, especially in the world of tulle. For gathering really long lengths of tulle like this, my go-to approach is turning the tension all the way up, making sure it's the longest stitch length that I have access to. And then if that doesn't give me enough tension, I pinch the top thread, and that gives me tension that automatically gathers the fabric so that I don't have to do it manually. It's awesome. And now I get to top stitch that petticoat onto the skirt, and it will be very interesting to see how much petticoat it requires. I mean, how much tulle it requires. I gotta say, I do not enjoy top stitching netting onto a petticoat, but it must be done. The good thing about working with a circle skirt is that every single time that you move upwards along the skirt, so the next row, it'll be less, because the further you go up, the less fabric there is. So it's quite good. This round here will be the most work I have to do. I tried a bunch of these ball gowns on at the ball gown store, and I was surprised. They were made exactly how I thought they would be made. I was like, oh, maybe I know what I'm doing. This is awesome. My one round, which it turns out I have 4. I guess, I don't know how it worked, but I have 4 of these rounds of gathered tulle to work with, and one of them got me around the skirt once, which is awesome. Means I have at least 4 rounds of tulle available to me, which will definitely get me some volume. As it currently stands, I have 3 rounds of tulle netting on my petticoat, and it's working. It's doing the job quite nicely. I'm becoming tentative to add more just because I don't want it to become too bulbous, I guess, or comical. Those are my feelings. So I'm going to leave it there with the tulle netting, I think, and I'm just going to add 1 round of my lightweight tulle, and I'm cutting it to the length so that when I put it as the 4th tier, it will go all the way over all of the layers of netting and go to the floor. I think that's probably a mistake in my petticoat making technique, where I've cut every single layer to be exactly the same. I think it might be ideal if the layers all go longer so that they each go on top of each other. Do you know what I mean? With every layer going to the floor. I don't know if I even explained that right. It's just my curiosity. Oh, I need to measure this. Silly me. This is one of those projects where it is late at night right now, and I've got stuff to do tomorrow, obviously. But I'm just feeling so relieved that the project's actually working that I'm not really too bothered. It would be a problem if I was in a place of crisis right now and I didn't know what to do, but I do. So we're chill. I think the petticoat is complete. 3 layers of tulle netting, 1 layer of tulle. And I think that that last layer is really important because it just sort of sits on top of all of the volume that I created. And I don't know, I just feel like it really added a lot. Don't look at it closely. It's ugly. But as I've been saying throughout this whole video, it is getting the job done, so I'm happy. Wow, okay. I think now I can add it into the dress, add a zipper, add the horsehair braid, and bias bind the edges. And then I think it's done. I know that sounds like a few steps still, but I feel like we're really getting through it now. This is me before sewing the petticoat in. And this is me after sewing my petticoat in. I'm fine, I was being dramatic, but wow. This is really not my finest work. I'm gonna say this once, and I'm gonna say it once only. Hopefully. It's zipper time. Oh, every time I need to put a zipper in, I'm like, how do I put zippers in? How can it be this way? How can it actually be this way? It's so hard to remember how to do this. It's hard for you to see, but this is my little zipper station. I'm kind of curious. Oh, these are actually really chunky zips. I was gonna add one of these sorts of chunky YKK zips in because I wasn't so sure about using an invisible. But I think I should use an invisible zip. It's just so chunky, this. I'm gonna use my pink invisible zipper. That's actually good because invisible zippers are the zippers I know best, I think. It's literally 1 a.m. So what am I gonna do? If you want your invisible zip to be invisible, you have to iron it. You literally have to. I'm digging my iron into the crease where the zipper teeth are. And you can basically roll it out by a few mils. And that's gonna be the difference between the zipper actually being invisible or it just being like a zipper. By no means am I an actual expert, but I have installed some bad zippers and I do that less frequently these days. I'm improving. And this is one of the things that I absolutely swear by. This project has not been about the finer things in life. It's been about creating ball gown on a budget.
This week on Ball Gown on a Budget, we've got Diane and her 3 bridesmaids. And they're looking for crazy ball gowns for their Texas wedding.
I installed that zipper so incredibly wrong that it's actually funny. It's actually comedic, especially after I was just saying that I'm getting better at installing zips. I'm gonna credit it to the fact that it's like 1 a.m. though. Do you wanna know another crazy thing? I was just sewing that invisible zip on, and then I was like, this feels wrong again. That's because I literally was not using the invisible zipper foot. Crazy! I am tired. Oh my gosh, I am tired. It's right. Oh my goodness, I was about to spiral. I was like, I've sewn this zipper in so many times. I know this zipper, I know how it works. How could I get it wrong so many times? Okay, we're good. Ooh, this fabric is treacherous to zip through though. It's got so many little tinsel overhanging sections. Okay, yikes. All right, I'm gonna sew the other side of this on. My microphone has run out of battery, which is so relatable, but guys, you had to check this out. You have to see this. I only bought 8 meters of horsehair braid, and look how little is left at the end of that whole skirt. Probably 50 centimeters. That is awesome.
I wasn't sure if that was gonna work. All right, team, it is multiple days later. I ended up wrapping up filming at like 4 a.m. and honestly, I was doing well until I lost my pin cushion. And if you know anything about me, it's that if I lose something, it's just like, unfortunately, I'm fixated on this until I can find it. It's like, this is the end. I cannot do a single. So it was like 4 a.m. I had the gig the next day and I couldn't find my pin cushion. I was like, this is the end. So I stopped filming because I was like, I can't do this right now. But I got everything done. I sewed the hem facing on that night. Looked great. I sewed the bias binding around the neckline and the armholes, but I didn't sew it to the inside. I just stitched it on with my machine to the outside, to the right side, and then I decided that I would wake up earlier in the morning and hand stitch that into the interlining of the bodice so that you wouldn't be able to see the stitching from the right side. So I did that in the morning. And I finished that about 10 minutes before I needed to leave the house and the ball gown was done. This was crazy. Like, this was stressful. I was praying the whole time and I felt like, okay, God was with me completing this project because this shouldn't have worked. I've never even successfully draped something on my bodice form. What do you call it? My dress form. I have drafted things on there before, but it's taken multiple iterations and alterations for it to work. The fact that I draped it on that and then it just was perfect immediately, baffled. So yeah, everything went well. The dress was awesome. Like, I think it was just right for the gig. It was so sparkly. Putting the corselet underneath just gave it the most lovely little shape and support, and I just think it added so much. I don't think other people may have noticed, but for me as the designer, I was like, this, I can see why inner structures are so important to gowns, even if it's not imperative for holding the gown up or anything like very structural. It just gives it lines and shape. And I don't know, you can just tell. I'll show it to you in a second. I think that's all of my thoughts. My final thoughts actually are, I'm so happy I have this corselet. I'm going to use it for so many gowns to come. It just made the process a lot quicker that I had it ready to go and I just put it on the inside of the dress. Bam. I am obsessed with horsehair braid. That's my next thought. I know I used it in my last YouTube video and I used it again for this, and I feel like me and horsehair braid are going to have a long relationship because that stuff is kind of awesome. It adds so much. My final thought, I need to do more projects that push me past my level of comfort. Yes, some people will say you shouldn't put yourself on such a quick deadline, it's reckless, and my mother will say, Carly, you're crazy. But I think sometimes it forces me to get out of my brain and just trust that I'm capable and just do a full proper send. And that in itself is really valuable for building confidence, for extension of skills, and also just as like a closed amount of time that I have to just experiment and play, just to actually give myself that chance, say, go. 24 hours, go. I think we need to give ourselves more project runway opportunities, you know, just to get fun and crazy with it. So yeah, that's all of my ball gown thoughts scattered and presented to you right now. I am going to show you the gown. Listen, it's not like too crazy. It's a simple design, but I'm so happy that it worked. It's simple, it's effective. I think it would look great on stage. I couldn't see myself on stage, but I hope it looked good. And that's everything. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope I didn't stress you out too much. Sorry. And that's that. You guys are amazing. Please tell me how your projects are going, or if anything wonderful is happening in your life, leave me a little comment, tell me a little story, even just if something funny happened in your life. I love a funny story, like, oh, I was walking down the street and then I saw this crazy thing. Send me a little digital diary entry in the comment section if you so please. And if you're still here, hit that subscribe button, y'all, or just like the video, whichever. I am easy. Okay, let me show you this dress. Love you, bye. This is the dress, everyone. I had heels on, so it was like this. I know that's what you guys are waiting for, right? I'm not sure if you can tell the shape with the corselet underneath, but it just feels so nice. Can you tell? The silence. What if I do it like this?
Guys, I did nicer hair and makeup than this. I was just trying to give you like a really quick little vibe.
Because I have Pilates in 15 minutes, so.
And like, are you getting it's the horsehair braid for me. Like the way it just falls on the petticoat's kind of bad, guys. Like I did not do the right petticoat for this. I realized that every single tier of a petticoat is meant to fall to the floor, I think. And my petticoat is just random. Like it's honestly random, the lengths of the jewel. It adds volume, but it's like kind of random. So I'll do better next time. That's crazy. That was bad. I can't tell you how. Why was it southern accent? I can do a rap.
24 hours, that's all that I've got to make a ball gown for my gig at the spot. I'm gonna sew so fast, it's crazy. Elijah's gonna make me meals to eat, 'cause I'm a lady. Pull up to the gig, subscribe to my channel if you like this stuff, 'cause I would appreciate it. Sequin, 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 sparkly, sparkly, sparkly. Red, cheap fabric for my gown makes me happy. That was so stupid. Wait, one more prompt for the rap. It's like, no, I don't have it. Oh, I always do that. I don't know if I even told you guys, but this cost me $300. Okay. I really gotta go to my Pilates class now. Bye bye everyone, bye bye.